The honorary degree will now be conferred. Mr. President, will you present the honorary degree candidate, Monique Begin?
Mr. Chancellor, if we wish to define what it means to be Canadian, we need look no further than to the life of the Honourable Monique Begin. Her selfless devotion to this country exemplifies those very qualities we cherish as a nation: compassion, integrity, and tolerance. Dr. Begin made her first indelible mark on public life as the Executive Secretary to the Royal Commission on the Status of Women, where she worked tirelessly to right the injustices women still experienced in Canada. In 1972, and to our great good fortune as a nation, she was elected to the federal parliament, the first woman from Quebec to do so. And as Minister of National Revenue, and then twice as Minister of Health and Welfare, she brought her formidable intellect to bear on several of the most profound issues of the day. During her exemplary tenure in public office, Monique Begin created the child tax credit and 3 times increased the guaranteed income supplement for seniors. She fought bravely and successfully in support of stronger public funding for medical research, and she introduced new measures for Aboriginal health. The pinnacle of her political career came in 1984 with the passing of the Canada Health Act, legislation that enshrined universality and accessibility in the provision of medical services across Canada. Monique Begin then embarked on a new voyage of service, this time in academic life. As the first holder of the Joint Chair in Women's Studies at Ottawa and Carleton Universities, she made seminal contributions to a rapidly developing field. And later, as Dean of Health Sciences at the University of Ottawa, she inspired colleagues and students with her remarkable openness to new ideas and her genuine respect for the opinions of others. And at SFU, we too have been fortunate to have Monique Begin serve as a board member of our J.S. Woodsworth Endowment in the Humanities. Throughout her exceptionally demanding career, she has devoted countless hours to various community activity. She has co-chaired the Royal Commission on Learning in Ontario and served on the International Independent Commission on Population and the Quality of Life. In 2005, she was appointed to the World Health Organization Commission on the Social Determinants of Health. Monique Begin's legacy will reverberate for generations to come. Invested as an officer of the Order of Canada, she has been recognized with numerous honors. And on this day, we are privileged to express our admiration and gratitude. Mr. Chancellor, on behalf of the Senate of this university, I ask that you now confer upon the Honourable Monique Begin the degree Doctor of Laws, honoris causa.
Monique Begin, by the virtue of the authority vested in me and in the Senate of this university, I hereby admit you to the degree Doctor of Laws, honoris causa. Dr. Begin will be hooded by Dr. Bill Crane, Associate Vice President, Academics.
Mr. Chancellor, it is with pleasure that I now call on Dr. Monique Begin for her address to convocation. Dr. Begin.
Mr. Chancellor, Mr. President, Madam Chair of the Board of Governors, members of faculty, graduates of applied sciences, families and friends of the graduates. I consider it a special honor to be granted an honorary degree from Simon Fraser University when you're still celebrating its 40 years of existence. In addition to my past links with your Women's Studies program, I too will now be a graduate of the Instant University. My thanks to all for this recognition. Graduates, today is like an island in your life, a unique day. I hope you feel good about it. I saw you coming in what's the most spectacular location for any convocation. You have really accomplished something, and you know it. Each of you just completed successfully a multi-year project, which is no small achievement. It will always be a building block in your life, past and future. Congratulations. In the past 15 years alone, not only were more than 1.7 million jobs created for our university graduates in Canada, but it is sad to observe that in our country, about 1 million jobs disappeared for those with high school education or less. Some of you have already started working. Some, in fact, never stopped working. You had to. Others are looking for work, summer jobs or real employment. Maybe a few are lucky enough that they don't have to work until September. I hope they travel far away and for long. In fact, this is something I wish every one of you, if not this summer, then next year, or at some point in your life, and more than once. Traveling or living elsewhere, especially in another country, another continent, is about the difference, about curiosity and knowledge, friendship, initiative, calculated risk-taking, sharing, and much more. It's also an unexpected journey of self-discovery. And when I say you go to other countries, don't forget to stop in Quebec at one point. Some of you with a first university degree will go for a master's or a doctorate. Studies will then frame time for a few more years ahead of you. A third of those of you who will complete their PhD will teach in universities. The balance will work in business or government, but all of them will do research. And if I rely on the Association of Universities and Colleges of Canada's figures, in 5 years' time, by 2011, universities in Canada will collectively need to replace as many as 20,000 faculty members, plus another 20,000 because of the enrollment growth. By the way, faculty renewal is definitely contributing to the rise in faculty positions held by women. So don't worry. Studying longer for more degrees will assure you of good employment. Here, demographics play in your favor. Now, what after your first degree, your first job, your last degree? Well, who knows? I still go blank when asked, usually seriously and unexpectedly, what did I plan or wanted to do next? How do I know? You know, hard to tell if I drove my life or if life drove me. For life is not still. Things around us are not fixed. The physical world, as well as the society we live in, are constantly evolving. So one logical conclusion, and I hope you never forget that, is that whatever the circumstances you find yourselves in, you do have choices. Change to the economy, at work, in our cities, and so on, used to be accidental, temporary, a momentary crisis we had to go through before returning to business as usual. It has now become the new norm of our lives. I believe that the realization that life is about change, multiple changes, is overall of great benefit. Long before it became the norm, changes had been an intrinsic part of my life. Did I know where I was going and where life was taking me? No, not really. But I always gave it my best and did not shy away from challenges and difficulties. And I was pretty innocent at times. I have lost some and I have won some. There are moments of doubt, of frustration, of fear, of discouragement, but I hope I learned in the process. I just had the general idea that I wanted to contribute to make the world a better place. Nothing particularly original, except that I never gave up. It's one thing to acknowledge that change is an intrinsic part of living. It's another one to decide to drive change, to be a participant in it, and to make a difference. We often read about today's young people feeling that their future bears no hope because of the mess we made of the environment, increased war zones, widening famine and poverty, and overpopulated planet. These are huge challenges, I won't deny it. But there also exist all kinds of resources and technologies of immense potential. Yes, we need to respect the limits of the carrying capacity of the Earth, but we should understand that humanity has no limits in its carrying capacity. You, more than your parents, will live in a global world, and this is very exciting. But globalization is something in the making, and it's far from being strictly financial and economic. It's bigger than just markets. It demands a new system of global values and mechanism of implementation. It calls for new governance models at every level. May I leave you with a sentence I like a lot. It's from Martin Buber, a great Austrian philosopher. And I quote him, "Every journey has a secret destination of which the traveler is not aware. Bon voyage."
Thank you, Dr. Begin.